everyone. My name is Will Sparks, and I am a lead minister here at the Azizi United Church, and it's with a great deal of heartfelt honor that we welcome you into this home at Azizi United Church. We are a community that values very highly a broad and inclusive welcome on the basis of all kinds of things, including religious conviction. And so it makes complete sense that we as a Christian church should open our doors to our Baha'i neighbors. And I welcome you here, especially as you celebrate the life of such an important matriarch in your community and in your family. So it's our honor and to have you. Just a couple of little details. There are washrooms down this hall and at the very end of that hall. And I'd ask that you turn your cell phones off, or at least on the rigorous off. This is a sacred ceremony. This is a sacred ceremony. That is intended. We take time and separate it out for this purpose. That's the same. And so I want to, on behalf of your Christian neighbors, offer a blessing as you gather. And this is a blessing written by one of our elders, John McDonald, for his mother, after she died. As he imagines God and the universe that's beyond us developing her and developing her family with God. And so the blessing that we when he stands on your shoulders and you stumble, may the clay dance to balance. And when your eyes freeze behind a gray window and the ghost of the loss gets into you. Into red, green, and azure blue come and awaken in you a meadow of delight. When the canvas frays and the current of thought and a stream of ocean blackens beneath you, may there come across the waters a path of yellow moonlight to bring you safely home. May the nourishment of the earth be yours. May the clarity of light be yours. May the fluency of the ocean be yours. May the protection of the ancestors be yours. And so may a slow wind work these words of love around you, an invisible cloak to my your life. God bless you.
Dear family and friends, on behalf of the Azizi, Brown and Ashraf families, I would like to thank you for coming today on this cold winter day to remember, celebrate and honor our beloved Rouhieh, who ascended to the realm of glory on January 6, 2024. We find solace in the wisdom of the Baha'i faith, which teaches us the profound interconnectedness of humanity and eternal nature of the soul. As we navigate through this somber occasion, let us draw inspiration from the words of Baha'u'llah, the prophet founder of the Baha'i faith, who reminds us that the soul is a sign of God, a heavenly gem whose reality the most learned men have failed to grasp, and whose mystery no mind, however acute, can ever hope to unravel. Furthermore, in regards to the eternal bond between the departed and the living, he explains, the world beyond is as different from this world as this world is from that of a child while in the womb of mother. Baha'u'llah assures us, offering a perspective that transcends the limitations of mortal existence. Rouhieh Khanum lived a life shaped by love, compassion, and dedication to the betterment of humanity. Baha'u'llah's counsel that the earth is but one country and mankind, its citizens, resonated today, urging us to embrace the unity and promote the well-being of all, just as our beloved Rouhieh Khanum did throughout her entire life. دوستان عزیز و سروران گرامی، از طرف خانواده‌های عزیزی، بران و اشرف، از شرکت شما در جلسه یادبود و بزرگداشت روحیه خانم عزیزی سپاسگزاری می‌کنم. ممنونم که در این روز سرد زمستان از راه‌های دور و نزدیک به ما پیوستید و موجب شادی و تسلای خاطر و همدردی بازماندگان می‌شوید. روحیه خانم عزیزی حقیقتاً موصوف به صفت روحیه حقیقتاً روحانی بودن، بی نهایت روحانی بودن و عزیزی فوق‌العاده عزیز بودن برای تک تک و همواره خواسته و آرزوی قلبیشان الفت و اتحاد مابین فامیل و عموم اهل عالم بود و سرلوحی زندگی و باورشان مطابق بیان حضرت بهاءالله بود که می‌فرمایند ای اهل عالم، سراپرده یگانگی بلند شد، به چشم بیگانگان یکدیگر را مبینید، همه بار یک دارید و برگ یک شاخسار. از دیدگاه آیین بهایی روح انسانی حیات جاودانه دارد و بعد از انقطاع از جسد همواره رو به ترقی است. شکل کمالات نامتناهی است. این است که به جهت ترقی روح عزیزانمان ادای خیرات و مبرات و تلاوت ادعیه و مناجات به شدت توصیه شد و بنابراین جلسه امروز را با تلاوت مناجات و انواع مختلف شروع شد. روح نازنینشان شاد و یادشان پیوسته گرامی باد. We will start today's program by sharing 4 letters received by the family of Rouhieh Khanum from the Universal House of Justice, the International Teaching Center, National Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'is of Canada, as well as the local Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'is of North Vancouver District. Letter from Universal House of Justice addressed to Ms. Emilia Ashraf, Baha'i World Center. Dear Baha'i friends, the Universal House of Justice was sorry to learn of the passing of your dear grandmother, Rouhieh Azizi, devoted handmaiden of Baha'u'llah, and extends to you and other family members its heartfelt condolences. Be assured of the supplications of the House of Justice at the sacred threshold for the progress of her illumined soul, now joyously reunited with her martyred husband, Habibullah Azizi, in the Abha Kingdom. Prayers will be also offered that you may all find comfort and solace at this time of passing. With loving Baha'i greetings, Department of the Secretary. This letter is from International Teaching Center, Baha'i World Center, addressed to Ms. Emilia Ashraf, Baha'i World Center. Dear Baha'i friend, we were saddened to hear of the passing of your much-loved grandmother, Rouhieh Azizi, and offer our deepest sympathy to you and your family. We will pray in the holy shrines for the advancement of her soul in the divine realms, rejoining her beloved husband and brothers, and for the Almighty to console her loved ones at this time of loss. With loving Baha'i greetings, the International Teaching Center. And this letter is from the National Special Assembly of the Baha'is of Canada, dated 9th of January 2024, head of honor 180. The family of Rouhieh Azizi. Dear Baha'i friends, the National Assembly was saddened to receive news of the recent passing of Rouhieh Azizi. This well-loved main servant of the cause was an example of perseverance and steadfastness when faced with the crushing loss of her husband and two of her brothers when they were martyred in the early 90s. Her soul assuredly now soars with them in the divine realm. Our deepest sympathy is extended to Rouhieh's children, Mahru, Farza, Gulru, and Ala, and other family members and friends. We have requested the prayers of the Universal House of Justice and offer our own for the progress of her soul and for your consolation during this time of separation. With loving Baha'i greetings, Karim Akhtar, Secretary. And the last letter I will share with you is from the local special assembly of the Baha'is of North Vancouver District. Dear Mahru, Farzad, Gulru, and Ala, the local spiritual assembly of North Vancouver District would like to express our sympathy at your loss. Rouhieh Khanum was a matriarch and a valued member of this community. Her home was always open to the Baha'i community for teaching activities, fundraising, deepenings, and commemorations that contributed to a lasting foundation of service for this community. Despite her advancement in age, Rouhieh Khanum always made the effort to attend activities when possible. A source of encouragement, an example to those in the community, young and elderly. Our thoughts and prayers are with all your families at this difficult time. This quote from Baha'u'llah offers comfort for the journey that Rouhieh has walked in his physical life. Blessed is the man that hath turned his face toward God and walked steadfastly in his love until his soul has winged its flight unto God, the sovereign Lord of all, the most powerful, the ever-forgiving, the all-merciful. Baha'u'llah, gleanings from the writings of Baha'u'llah. With loving Baha'i greetings, Shamila Wahidi, Secretary, the local Special Assembly of the Baha'is of North Vancouver District. That was a bit lengthy. Thank you for paying attention. We will continue our program with devotions that are going. I'm going to just mention their names, and I would request if they can come in the order of sequence and come and say prayers. We will start with Rouhieh Khanum's Nia and Persian chant by Mrs. Farishte Bashiji, followed by two writings from Abdul Wahab, shared by Alex and May, Rouhieh Khanum's grandchildren. And then Rouhieh Khanum's eulogy will be shared by Beverly, her granddaughter. Thank you.
O thou kind Lord, this dearly cherished maidservant was attracted to thee, and through reflection and discernment longed to attain thy presence and enter thy realms. With tearful eyes she fixed her gaze on the kingdom of mysteries. Many a night she spent in deep communion with thee, and many a day she lived in intimate remembrance of thee. At every morn she was mindful of thee, and at every eve she centered her thoughts upon thee. Like unto a singing nightingale she chanted thy sacred verses, and like unto a mirror she sought to reflect thy light. O thou forgiver of sins, open thou the way for this awakened soul to enter thy kingdom, and enable this bird trained by thy hand to soar in the eternal rose garden. She is afire with longing to draw nigh unto thee. Enable her to attain thy presence. She is distraught and distressed in separation from thee. Cause her to be admitted into thy heavenly mansion. O Lord, we are sinners, but thou art the forgiver. We are submerged in the ocean of shortcomings, but thou art the pardoner, the kind. Forgive our sins and bless us with thine abundant grace. Grant us the privilege of beholding thy countenance, and give us the chalice of joy and bliss. We are captives of our own transgressions, and thou art the King of bountiful favors. We are drowned in a sea of iniquities, and thou art the Lord of infinite mercy. Thou art the giver, the glorious, the eternal, the bounteous. And thou art the all-gracious, the all-merciful, the omnipotent, he who is the bestower of gifts and the forgiver of sins. Verily, thou art he to whom we turn for the remission of our failings, he who is the Lord of hosts.
منم. ای بازماندگان آن بنده مقرب درگاه الهی، آن مرغ چمنستان هدایت به گلستان حقیقت شتاب و آن یارم را یادگار خویش بگذار تا بعد از رجوعش به موطن الهی کشتش را آبیاری نمایی و در خیابان آرزو و آمالم به طراحی گلهای مانی پردازی. تضرع به ملکوت عزت نمایی و طلب مغفرت کنید. پس باید که شب و روز مناجات کنید و از موتی الحاجات طلب شمول عقل و عنایت نمایید تا جان و روح آن پرفتوح شادمان و کامران گردد و از فضل حق روح و ریحان یابد. و علیکم تحیة و سلام. عبدالوهاب عباس.
Know thou of a certainty that love is the secret of God's holy dispensation, the manifestation of the all-merciful, fountain of spiritual, the Holy Spirit's eternal breath, that vivifieth the human soul. Love is the cause of God's revelation into man, the vital bond inherent, in accordance with the divine creation. In the realities of things, love is the one means that ensureth true felicity, both in this world and the next. Love is the light that guideth in darkness, the living link that uniteth God with man, that assureth the progress of every illumined soul. Love is the most great law that ruleth this mighty and heavenly cycle, the unique power that bindeth together the diverse elements of this material world, the supreme magnetic force that directeth the movements of the spheres in the celestial realms. Love revealeth with unfailing and limitless power the mysteries latent in the universe. Love is the spirit of life unto the adorned body of mankind, the establisher of true civilization in this mortal world, and the shedder of imperishable glory upon every high aiming race and nation.
O Lord, O thou whose mercy has encompassed all, whose forgiveness is transcendent, whose bounty is sublime, whose pardon and generosity are all-embracing, and the lights of whose forgiveness are diffused throughout the world. O Lord of glory, I entreat thee, fervently and tearfully, to cast upon thy handmaiden, who hath ascended unto thee, the glances of the eye of thy mercy. Robe her in the mantle of thy grace, bright with the ornaments of celestial paradise, and sheltering her beneath the tree of thy oneness, illumine her face with the lights of thy mercy and compassion. Bestow upon thy heavenly handmaiden, O God, the holy fragrances born of the Spirit. Heal her griefs with the balm of thy reunion. In accordance with thy will, grant her admission to thy holy paradise. Let the angels of thy loving kindness descend successively upon her and shelter her beneath thy blessed tree. Thou art verily the ever forgiving and most generous, the Almighty.
My precious, beloved, and dearest mother-in-law, Rouhieh Azizi, was the second youngest of 11 children born to Mr. Azizi and Mrs. Bibi John in Tehran, Iran in 1926. She was deeply loved and adored by her parents and her older siblings. During his early 20s and before marriage, her father, through independent investigation of truth, one of the core principles of the Baha'i faith, became a devout believer and steadfast follower of the Baha'i God, the oneness of religion and the oneness of humanity. He readily embraced the teachings of the faith and had the blessing to come into the presence of Abdul Baha, the son and successor of Muhammad, the founder of the Baha'i faith. Mr. Azizi also had the distinction to meet Shoghi Effendi, the eldest grandson of Abdul Baha and appointed guardian of the Baha'i faith by Abdul Baha in his will and testament. It was in this environment, permeated by the laws and teachings of the Baha'i faith, that Rouhieh was raised and nurtured during her early childhood years to develop a deep love of God, reliance and devotion on prayer, respect of family, the importance of service to others, and commitment to working for the promotion of the unity of humanity. In her early 20s, Rouhieh married Mr. Habibullah Azizi. Shortly after the marriage, she gave birth to Mahroud and thereafter Farzad, or Aziz. The couple subsequently decided to move to Germany in the mid-1950s to diffuse the teachings of the Baha'i faith by their living example and by opening their home to neighbors to share loving hospitality as promoted and encouraged in the teachings of the Baha'i faith. The couple remained in Germany for a few years and later returned to Iran to be near and help care for aging parents. Rouhieh then gave birth to Golru and Ala and enjoyed being reunited with a large extended family in Iran. In 1969, similar to the purpose of the move to Germany, Rouhieh and her dear husband were inspired to migrate to England to share the teachings of the faith and impart the spirit of loving fellowship with all who were welcomed into their home. The move was also motivated by their desire to help advance the education of their children. Their home at 9 Dunbar Road, Bournemouth, became the hub of many Baha'i activities, including but not limited to holy day observances, classes for children, classes for interested seekers to learn about the Baha'i teachings, and festive gatherings that brought people. The Azizi home served as a place of genuine hospitality, generosity, kindness, and heartfelt love to the couple's many relatives who visited them for short or extended periods. During the family's residency in Burma, Mr. Azizi returned frequently to Iran to care for his aging mother and tend to family business obligations. It was during one of those faithful visits in 1980 that he was arrested and held captive in Evin prison in Tehran for about 14 months, solely for being a Baha'i. It is noteworthy that during Mr. Azizi's imprisonment, Rouhieh never wavered in her loyal commitment and service to the Baha'i faith. Her home continued with even greater vigor to be the center of countless gatherings to impart the teachings of the faith and show loving hospitality. Deprived of the presence of her much-beloved husband and tasked with the responsibility to act as head of household, Rouhieh navigated through this significant adversity with remarkable spiritual fortitude, incomparable courage, reliance on the power of prayer, love and support of family and friends, and unquestioned faith in and reliance on God. Unbeknownst to her, she was soon to confront a much greater adversity with the martyrdom of her precious husband on August 29, 1981. The tragic loss of her husband provided a larger platform for Rouhieh to share with the public through numerous print and television interviews, reaching even the annals of the British Parliament, the narrative of her family's personal sacrifice, and the opportunity to proclaim the teachings of the Baha'i faith. With the intensification of the persecution of Baha'is in Iran, attempts to annihilate the Baha'i faith from its place of birth, relentless attempts to target and destroy the Azizi family as a prominent Baha'i family in Iran, as well as confiscation of our Azizi family residences, property, and assets. The remaining family members were forced to escape their much-loved nation, with mainly the closed on their backs to take up residence as religious refugees in Vancouver, Canada. Following the grievous loss of her loving spouse and father of 4 children, Rouhieh was yet to suffer another tragic calamity. In December 1981 and January 1982, her beloved brothers, Jalal Azizi and Eshkandar Azizi, were martyred in Iran, and like her husband, solely for being Baha'is and living their lives loyally in accordance with the precepts of the Baha'i faith. Following a series of short-term visits and through the encouragement of her family, in 1988, Rouhieh decided to relocate from Bournemouth, England, and settle permanently in Vancouver, Canada, where many of her family members had already established residency as religious refugees. Throughout her 35 years in Canada, Rouhieh rendered tireless and devoted services to serve the Baha'i faith and share the healing message of Baha'u'llah with all with whom she came in contact. Notable among her services was a trip undertaken to India in 1989 with her brother Ayatollah Azizi to share the teachings of the faith through recounting of the Azizi family experience of sacrifice and steadfast service in the cause of God. On numerous occasions, Rouhieh, along with Mrs. Manija Azizi and Noura Azizi, to accompany the widows of her martyred brothers, accompany Mr. Azizi and Mrs. Sandra Azizi, two devoted teachers and servants of the faith, to travel to inland parts of Vancouver to share the Baha'i message of unity of the races, religions, nationalities, and classes. Among other areas of service offered by Rouhieh to the Baha'i community was as a member of the Baha'i Persian Committee and local fundraising committee. Her loving, kind, compassionate, welcoming and generous spirit uplifted and inspired the countless Baha'i or family gatherings hosted at her home in Vancouver. Coupled with her love for the Baha'i faith was the measureless depth and breadth of her love for her husband, her 4 children, her 9 grandchildren, her 5 great-grandchildren, her siblings, her many nieces and nephews, her daughters and sons-in-law, and all the other relatives who comprise her family. Indeed, her family was her very heart and soul. This narrative of precious Rouhieh would not be complete without mentioning her incomparable sense of wit and perfect sense of timing, delivering jokes, bringing her captive listeners to jubilant laughter. In reflecting on her many years of living on this earthly plane, one could say that Rouhieh's character and personality embodied a harmonious blend of dignity, reverence, respect, love, generosity, thoughtfulness, detachment, submission, forgiveness, service, warmth, and a welcoming spirit, all culminating in a pure, kindly, and radiant heart, forged by a life of adversity and devoted service to the cause of Baha'u'llah. In the words of Baha'u'llah, "O son of spirit, my first counsel is this, possess a pure, kindly, and radiant heart, that thine may be a sovereignty, ancient, imperishable, and everlasting." That is my beloved mother-in-law and mother. Thank you so much.
myself and filled with the Spirit of God.
And now concerning thy question regarding the soul of man and its survival after death. Know thou of a truth that the soul, after its separation from the body, will continue to progress until it attaineth the presence of God, in a state and condition which neither the revolution of ages and centuries, nor the changes and chances of this world can alter. It will endure as long as the kingdom of God, His sovereignty, His dominion, and power will endure. It will manifest the signs of God and His attributes, and will reveal His loving kindness and bounty. The prophets and messengers of God have been sent down for the sole purpose of guiding mankind to the straight path of truth. The purpose underlying this revelation has been to educate all men, and they may, at the hour of death, ascend in the utmost purity and sanctity, and with absolute detachment to the throne of the Most High. The light which these souls radiate is responsible for the progress of the world and advancement of its peoples. They are like unto leaven, which leaveneth the world of being, and constitute the animating force through which the arts and wonders of the world are made manifest. Through them the clouds rain their bounty upon men, and the earth bringeth forth its fruits. All things must needs have cause, a motive power, and animating principle. These souls and symbols of detachment have provided and will continue to provide the supreme moving impulse in the world of being. The world beyond is as different from this world as the world is different from that of a child while still in the womb of its mother. When the soul attaineth the presence of God, it will assume the form that best befitteth its immortality and worthy of its celestial habitation. Such an existence is contingent and not an absolute existence, inasmuch as the former is preceded by a cause, whilst the latter is independent thereof. Absolute existence is strictly confined to God. Exalted be His glory. Well is it with him that apprehend this truth.
Be generous in prosperity and thankful in adversity. Be worthy of the trust of thy neighbor, and look upon him with a bright and friendly face. Be a treasure to the poor, an admonisher to the rich, an answerer of the cry of the needy, a preserver of the sanctity of thy pledge. Be fair in thy judgment, and guarded in thy speech. Be unjust to no man, and show all meekness to all men. Be as a lamp unto them that walk in darkness, a joy to the sorrowful, victim of oppression. Let integrity and uprightness distinguish all thine acts. Be a home for thy stranger, a balm to the suffering, a tower of strength for the fugitive. Be eyes to the blind, a guiding light unto the feet of thy hearing. Be an ornament to the countenance of truth, a crown to the brow of fidelity, a pillar of the temple of righteousness, a breath of life to the body of mankind, and in a sign of the host of justice, a luminary above the horizon of virtue, a dew to the soil of the human heart, an ark on the ocean of knowledge, a sun in the heaven of bounty, a gem on the diadem of wisdom, a shining light in the firmament of thy generation, a fruit upon the tree of humility.
ای یزدان مهربان، این بنده آسان از دل و جان جویای و در راه محبت هم پویان رخش به نور هدایت مهتابان بود و دلش پاک و مقدس از آلودگی این جهان. سرمست صفای الست بود و در بزم محبت ساغر و سرایی به دست قمیص هستی این جهان را برافکن و برهنه باریان به جهان لامکان شتاب تا در محفل ملای اعلی درآید و از باده وصل و از باده وصل و لقا در بحر و غفران مستغرق فرمان و از انوار فضل و احسان دلها را تعزیت بخش و ارواح را به مغفرت تهنیت نما تویی مهربان تویی آمرزنده خداوند مستعان
Thou hast asked me concerning the nature of the soul. Know, verily, that the soul is a sign of God, a heavenly gem, whose reality the most learned of men, the first among all created things to declare the excellence of its creator, the first to recognize his glory, to cleave to his truth, and to bow down in adoration before him. If it be faithful to God, it will reflect his light and will eventually return unto him. If it fail, however, in its allegiance to its creator, it will become a victim to self and passion, and will in the end sink in their depths. Thou hast moreover asked me concerning the state of the soul after its separation from the body. Know thou of a truth that if the soul of man hath walked in the ways of God, it will assuredly return and be gathered to the glory of the Beloved. By the righteousness of God, it shall attain a station such as no pen can depict or tongue describe. The soul that hath remained faithful to the cause of God, and stood unwaveringly firm in his path, shall after its ascension be possessed of such power that all the worlds which the Almighty hath created can benefit through him. Such a soul provideth, at the bidding of the ideal King and divine Educator, the pure leaven that leaveneth the world within, and furnisheth the power through which the arts and wonders of the world are made manifest. Consider how meal needeth leaven to be leavened with. Those souls that are the symbols of detachment are the leaven of the world. Meditate on this and be ever thankful.
so much for all the readers for beautiful devotion, beautiful chants by Ferishteh Khanum, Ghazal Khanum, and Shadi. Beautiful program. As we said farewell to her physical, Rouhieh Khanum will remain as part of all of our lives. She made a big mark in everyone's life. And before I even became a family member of Azizi's, I had an honor to serve with her at the Persian Conference Committee, where she was an example of steadfast devotion, love, compassion. I mean, I cannot even imagine my life without her. All of us here, we will miss her so much, and she left a big mark in everyone's soul. We love her passion, we love her sense of humor, positivity she has. She always had this beautiful smile on her face, and no matter where she went, she made everyone happy around her, and we will miss that. Before we conclude today's program, I would like to thank you dear lovely ladies who took care of our beautiful Rouhieh Khanum the last day of her life. And on behalf of the family, I would like to give gratitude to dear Yasamin, Akbari, Rosita, Shana, and Rahmana. They were angels that took care of our angel, and we are grateful for that. We're going to close today's program by reciting the prayer for the departed, which will be chanted by Mr. K.C. Latwali. And I would like to kindly request for those who are able to rise while this prayer is being chanted. And after that, the pallbearers will come and take Rouhieh Khanum's casket. We will remain seated while the casket is being taken away. And as the casket is making its way out, and after has left the church, then we can visit with the family. After that, immediate family and close family members are going to have a private burial. So they will head to the cemetery, just the family, to have a private funeral. And then there's some refreshments have been arranged in the next room. Friends, after the casket has been removed from the church, you can stay and partake in refreshments. Thank you so much for being here. It means a whole lot to all of us. And as Rouhieh Khanum always said, as she was saying goodbye to people, Jamal Mubarak Hafiz و نگهدارتون باشه. May the blessed beauty be your protector and your protector. That song always is in my ears. She always said that. Jamal Mubarak Hafiz و نگهدارتون. Thank you for being here. Mr. Latwali.
Ya Ilahi, Hazri amatuka, mabratu amatin, التي آمنت بك وبآياتك فتوجهت إليك منهتة عن سواك إنك أنت أرحم الراحمين أسألك يا غفار الذنوب وستار العيون بأن تعمل بها ما ينبغي لسماء جودك وبحر إفضالك وتدخلها في جرار رحمتك الحب التي سبقت الأرض والسماء لا إله إلا أنت الغفور الكريم الله أكبر إنهم كلهم لله عابدون 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 لله عابدون إنهم كلهم لله ساجدون 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 الله أكبر إنهم كلهم لله قانتون 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 لله قانتون إنا كل لله قانتون إنا كل لله قانتون إنا كل لله قانتون الله أكبر إنا كل لله ذاكرون 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 الله أكبر إنا كل لله شاكرون 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 الله أكبر إنا كل لله صابرون 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 إنا كل لله الصابرون إنا كل لله الصابرون إنا كل لله الصابرون إنا كل لله الصابرون إنا كل لله الصابرون